Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. It's hashtag 2026Q and going back to work. Took a break, 2 weeks, forced myself to do nothing. And I'm still tired, but we must get back to work. Much to do this year. We'll see if we accomplish any of it. I'm going to take a different way into town today because I'm just sick of the same old drive, and I also am really trying to procrastinate. So that's what we're going to do. We're in the town of Fairfield now. Lovely little town. Home of Pippin Fest, you've heard of it, where they honor Scottie Pippen every year. And he comes and shakes hands and signs autographs. And in the years that he can't make it, we have a cardboard cutout of Scottie Pippen, and it's a lot of fun. Good morning, Ken. How are you doing? Morning, Matt. John B says, morning, Matt. I did nothing. So nice, but so disappointing. What, doing nothing? I used to say doing nothing is doing something, but I think that was just my excuse for being lazy and depressed. But I stopped living by that, and now I think I was right. You do have to rest. It does something for you. Just like in music, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and you got your beats and everything like that. But then, what if you don't hit the drum on 3? You have a rest. Maybe that adds some drama. Might do something to do nothing on that beat. I would say that a slight hesitation at the beginning of Let's Get It On, where the guitar goes wow, 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 and then the drums hit and the whole band comes in, bass and everything. It's that hesitation that's the good stuff, the doing nothing. Good morning on a break at work. Good morning, Michael. How are you? John B says Gen X attitude. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Thanks, Matt, for the coffee. Ty says 6Q, maybe you should just stay away from even saying words like break. No reason to tempt fate. Oh. 6 questions says rest is important. As someone who pushes himself too hard, not resting can cause problems. Oh, I know that, Mike. You're right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just getting older, 50's 2.5 years away. What do you want from me? I can't jump up and down and do somersaults like I used to. And, it's just one of those horrible facts of life. But what are you going to do? You just keep going. Six questions says that's a fair point, Ty Webb. Ty Webb says a fair point in Fairfield. Very good. Well played. Matt Gillespie says, this is Mike Lentz's year, hashtag 2026Q. Yes, it is his year. What is it they always say? It's always darkest before the dawn. Well, there you go. This year is the dawn of the era of Lent. Good morning, Jeff. How are you? We're taking a different road into town today. I'm on Carroll's Tract Road. Eventually, this will take us out to Cashtown, and we will get on an originally old Route 30, which would be the actual road Lee's army traveled on, and then that will feed into new Route 30, and we will stay on that. I dashed off 6 questions for the Connecticut Regiment Ask a Guide. Yes, I saw that, Mikey, and those were good questions. Yeah, if you're a patron, go check Patreon. I put up a call for Ask a Guide questions for Connecticut regiments with Chris Army, and we're going to have that. I believe that is whatever Wednesday falls on a teen. I think it's 14th or 17th. So that's the live Ask a Guide that we're going to do then, and whatnot. Matt Gillespie says, when you turn 50, you get to have regular colonoscopies. Great. Looking forward to that. This is the dawning of the age of Michael Lentz. Age of Michael Lentz. Michael Lentz. The 14th, thank you. It's Wednesday the 14th. Hickory Bridge Farm, right to the left here. See the sign for it. It says Country Dining and Bed and Breakfast. I haven't been there yet, but I hear that the dining experience, the country dining experience, is fun. The food is good, and so on and so forth. And we keep saying we got to go there, we got to go there for dinner, and we always forget. It's a little bit off the beaten path, as you see, but I hear it's worth the trip. And I didn't realize they had a B&B until I just saw it on the sign there. So for those of you who like to, come to the area, maybe explore the area, stay out of town in the countryside, this is pretty countryside out here. We're passing Mike Lentz and Debbie's place of employment. We'll give them a little beep. There we go. Hope you heard that, Mike. And yes, Mr. Gutty says, hi friends, hope everyone's having a good new year so far. Semper Fi says, morning all, thanks for the stream, you're welcome. Pucho Pines, how hard was it getting your name in the coffee game? Well, it helps to know people, so I know Chad and Alex, the owners of Bantam Roasters, and I had been a customer there for a while, and it was actually the idea of a couple of listeners who are no longer with us, God rest their souls, and I started the ball rolling on that, and but the problem was I couldn't come up with a name. And I was like, God, I know there's a pun somewhere. And then I, like 3 months, I'm agonizing over this name. Sometimes these things come to me. Most times they don't. So I'm agonizing over this name. And I go to my friend Colby's office one day during my lunch break. And he's like, so what have you been up to? I'm like, I'm trying to figure out this name for a coffee. I wanted to have some punny Gettysburg thing, but also coffee, if possible. And he goes, without blinking, he just goes, little ground top. And I was like, I started cursing at him. I said horrible things I regret. And yeah. And so there the name was born. And I went back to Chad and I was like, I got a name. Now we need a logo. And I said, I got a very simple idea for that. Do it in your style. And there we are. And so it is. And so it goes. And so on and so forth. And that was pretty much how we did it. I'm lucky because he said that, he's had a couple, once people saw that, he's had a couple of other people approach him about doing it. And he told me, he's like, I'm not interested in doing that. I like doing this with you. But we're not going to have, she's like, I can't possibly have like everybody and their mother who wants to have their own brand. There are, if you're interested, there are third party, companies, that you can do that with. Like they have the coffee and they drop ship and all that stuff, and you give them your logo and they put all that stuff on, and they're, obviously a much larger operation. So I would, if I were you, I would, do that. Look up one of those. I don't know. But yeah, that's how that happened. Jeff Pasnick says, little ground top, best around. It's true. We ran out of it, and this morning we had some K-cups, which I hate, but we had some K-cups laying around, and so I, had one, and I took one sip of it, and I was like, oh, this is horrendous. So I dumped it out. It's hard to go back to K-cups or diner coffee or frankly anything other than Little Ground Top once you've had Little Ground Top. That was actually something one of the happy customers told me. I am quoting there and I can't remember her name, but anyway, that's what she told me. She goes, it's hard to go back. Another one, you noted the name Ricky Fowler, of course. Yes, we're talking about the great golfer. But in this case, we're talking about Ricky Fowler, the patron, who you've heard his name on the show before. You hear him in the comments. You read him in the comments. His wife, she used to love Dunkin' Donuts. And then she tried Little Ground Top and claims that after that, Dunkin' Donuts coffee tastes like dirt. Her words, not mine. And so I even had a person who was a Starbucks freak, which I never understood Starbucks, ladies and gentlemen. It tastes burnt to me. I don't know why anybody likes that. I have to believe it's the same reason people like IPAs. It's just to be an asshole. And so I that's what I think. That's my opinion, from one asshole to another. That's what I believe. It takes one to know one, right? So anyway, yeah. And by the way, if you forget or don't know to begin with, you can get it from anywhere, I believe anywhere, maybe not internationally. But you can go to addressinggettysburg.com/cafe and you can order your Little Ground Top there. We had somebody, I want to say from Nebraska, order 70 bags for gift baskets for their clients. I wish I knew who that was because I would like to thank them. So if it was you, let me know because I want to thank you, and I'll do it anyway. Thank you. That was awesome. When they told me that and they showed me that order, they said, yeah, it's somebody from Nebraska who wants to get it for their clients or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Let me tell you about Digital History Pioneers. very generous financial advisor down in Nebraska. Yes. So anyway, that was a great way to cap off the year, for sure. For sure. Morning, Dustin. How are you? Ty says, good Sir Jeffrey. Did you attend the farewell at the Ralph? I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Mr. Getty says, 6 questions. I kind of asked 4 questions within 2 questions for this. Whoa, my eyes are going crossed. For the Connecticut Asking Guide, I'm asking for forgiveness ahead of time. 6 questions says, no worries. My 6 questions are like that. So, yeah, that's true. Sometimes Mike's 6 questions contain 1 or 2, 4 or 5 parters. So, but I consider that one question, right? Because sometimes to answer one question, it's necessary to get the answers to other questions in order to complete a more, a fuller picture. You know, I get accused of being long-winded when somebody asks me a simple question, but it's because I know if I give you the simple answer, you're going to ask these other questions anyway, if you're truly curious and if you truly want to know. And so I just save you the time. I connect the dots for you. And we're on Route 30 now. Route 30. Always the Joy of Cooking says, Starbucks is the worst. Can't understand why people like it. It's a status thing. That's it. That is it. It's way too much money for coffee, even when you doctor it up and you have a super calf half crap fafe floppe frappuccino latte. It's too much. Silly. It's people think that they're enlightened, that they're hip. You know, they go there and they work on their screenplay that never gets old. It's a symbol of douchebaggery. Ken Wyman says, buying some little ground top this week. Smart man, Ken, smart man. Wundermunke, how's Devil's Blend looking? Yeah, now that the winter doldrums are upon us, we're going to revisit that. I know that's going to be a dark roast. I have an idea for a breakfast blend that I think is going to sell better, and I'm trying to convince them to put Devil's Blend on hold for the time being. But we will see. We will see. I'll let you know once I know. I take it you're a dark roast person. Always the Joy of Cooking says, I heard Motley Crue ordered 70 bags of Little Ground Top for their upcoming tour. They've sworn off booze and drugs for good this time. Well, if they're smart, they would. And to be frank, or in fact, I wasn't sure which way I wanted to go. Any touring band who's listening out there should order multiple bags of Little Ground Top to bring on the road with you. I mean, come on. Hotel coffee, ladies and gentlemen. Hotel coffee, please. Please. And then when you bring a bag of Little Ground Top out on stage and you go, this is the best coffee ever. It's called Little Ground Top. Go to addressingettysburg.com/cafe. In fact, here, we printed out a giant barcode for you. Just take a picture of this and order some now. You won't be disappointed. Here's our newest song off our latest album, Snot Rag. And then everybody's rocking out. But you got that QR code up there, brought to you by Little Ground Top, even though technically Little Ground Top is brought to you by whatever your band's name is, performing the song Snot Rag. Okay, Kevin's asking where Barbara is, and you know what? Now you got me worried, Kevin, because last and I said, oh, she'll show up late and then leave a comment, on the archive version. She never did. Never got a comment from her. Hide nor hair. Ain't seen it nor heard it. So you got me worried now. Always the joy of cooking. You can call your morning blend Pickett's morning charge. That's actually not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Pucho says, I write my screenplays digging ditches, drinking Little Ground Top. There you go. That's the way to do it. It's the American dream right there. Vinda McKay says, I'm an AG person. If you came out with an eggnog, I'd probably drink it. Well, something along those lines is coming out later this year. So, and Matt Gillespie agrees. Well, good. So we know we have two people who will get what's coming out later this year. Wonder Monkey says, I didn't want to say it, but she's probably just freeloading of the year somewhere else. That could be. She could have this odd schedule of freeloading for 2 weeks off of me, then freeloading for 2 weeks off of someone else, and then et cetera, et cetera. I hope that's, or maybe she was busy with family for a holiday. I hope it was that. I hope it's nothing bad, because that would suck. Barbara's one of my favorite people. Pug Story says, do you like the sound of oh, God. You're good. I love the fart bots, because you guys are fun. You guys are fun. I love a good fart joke. I do. I'm always 12 years old. But I like to tell them, you understand? David says, Little Ground Top could be the lost, clever marketing slogan in the town of Gettysburg. Even people in Illinois like it. The lost are last. I don't know. Somebody had to have named a coffee Little Ground Top before, right? I mean, it can't be that it took me and Colby, and frankly Colby, to come along and come up with that. Someone had to. Is there a less appetizing sounding drink than eggnog? No, you're right, but I love eggnog. Oh, most clever. Lost clever. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, why didn't I think most either? I don't drink coffee, but I bought some for my boss. He enjoyed it. Well, there you go. Great. I'll now spend the day thinking of names for a breakfast blend. So far, I'm thinking, oh no, I have the name, I have the logo, I have it all. I mean, if you want, you can still think of something, because I'm always willing to say, you know what, yours is better than mine. We're going with that. But pretty sure this idea will do well. Ken Wyman says, Buford's Blend, TM. Buford's Blend's not bad either. He fought in the morning. Oh, what do you got? Kerosene in that truck? That doesn't smell like diesel. Brian says, hell yeah, AG. Here we go, Steelers. Here we. Just in case any Ratbird fans are watching. Oh, is it football season, isn't it? Yeah. Taiwa says, I also don't drink coffee, but bought some Little Ground Top to spread around the flowers to keep Australians named Grant out of my yard. Brilliant move. And that actually does work. Coffee grounds in your garden will keep Australians named Grant. It's only one Australian that it deters. I like that one, Matt. 69 caliber buck and blend. That's a good one. But send all these privately, ladies and gentlemen, because, you know, we have our thief who always watches and then goes and does something. So go ahead and don't share them so freely, because they're good and they could be usable. And you could be the next top coffee naming model. Mr. Gutty asked if for historical accuracy we would release a chicory coffee. Actually, we have talked about that. They can do that. So, yeah. The answer is we can. Question is, will they? You know, I can't tax them too much because they're very busy. They're at that great point where they have too much business for the space. The roasting space, that is. Spend a lot of time roasting, and which is fantastic because that means you people are buying coffee, and but it also limits what more they can take on, and that's the tricky nature of business. It's kind of, and he kind of hit that point the same time Addressing Gettysburg hit that point where it's like I can't keep up with the work, but I got to keep the work going. And we used to commiserate. It was great because, you know, one time I'd be like, I think I'm done. I quit. And he'd be like, oh, you can't do that, and blah, 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 blah. And then then I'd get over it, and I'd be like, all right, things are going good. I got it. We're doing this, whatever. And then I'd go to see him, and he's like, I don't know. I think I'm done. I think I'm going to quit. Like, do you want to buy this? I'm thinking of closing up. And then I would be like, you can't do that. Like, it was just stupid. Like, what are you going to do? Work for somebody else? You hate that. You can't do that. I can't do that. That's why we both can't do it. We're trapped. We're trapped. We have to keep going with what we got. We got to just make it work. We're stuck. We're stuck. You know, it's not like, for example, Starbucks is coming along and plucking him out of obscurity and saying, hey, we love what you do. We want you to come and be a blend master for us, and we'll pay you $250,000 a year, right? And on the same token, nobody's coming to me and saying, hey, you've done good with the trip in Gettysburg, but you've taken it as far as you can, and let's be frank, you're not getting the money you need to grow it. Why don't you come work for us? They're not. And I think, at least in my case, it's because, they think I'm crazy. But for Chads, I think they just don't know. People need to go tour with their band, bring bags of Little Ground Top, drink it on the road, but also promote it with a QR code. And then we, in turn, will promote your band's tour schedule on the show. Think I'm kidding? I don't kid. Ever. Okay, I'm kidding. I do kid. But I'm not kidding in this case. You know, people always say that Addressing Gettysburg is a community. Some say above all other things. I don't know about that, but they say that they use the word community. And some people say that's the one thing that makes us unique as opposed to everybody else here. And maybe that's true. I don't know. I hope so. But communities, they don't just scratch backs one way. They scratch both ways. So you got a band and you're touring. How many weeks are you on tour? You'll probably need a pound of coffee a week, depending on how many people you have to give coffee to or how often you drink coffee. Get those, let us know, and send us your tour schedule. You promote Little Ground Top on stage, get a big QR code printed out there so that everybody can just take a picture of it. Maybe throw a hot cup of Little Ground Top on the first few rows in the audience so they really get the full effect. Let us know. Show it in a video or something more than once, and I will repeatedly, for the length of your tour, promote it on the show, here on these drives, whatevs. If you're a part of our community, or you're related to someone who's a part of our community, we'll extend it out that way. I think that'd be a nice thing to do. Wundermunke, I will never tell you publicly. UNC Samurai Matt, when are you going to partner with the Jelly Jam Company to create the Pennsylvania preserves? That's a great idea. Geez, we could pun up every consumable, couldn't we? I mean, for real. Pucho says, would you be okay with another coffee entrepreneur coming out with a Chickamauga theme? No. I mean, yeah, it'd be fine. Do what you have to do. I don't. We're just Gettysburg coffees for now, at least, and yeah, I'm not. If you were in Gettysburg and you were doing, another Gettysburg thing. I mean, there's still nothing I could do. It would just piss me off because it's like, get your own gig. But everybody's derivative of everybody now anyway. There's nothing original anymore. And when original things come along, everybody else goes and does it. So I would not have any problem with you doing that. And it's not my place to have a problem. Oh, there's Ghost of Sickle's Leg. I haven't seen him in a while. Happy New Year, Ghost. On my way to urgent care. Oops. Finally get to catch Matt. Happy New Year, all. Well, glad I could keep you company on the way to urgent care. I hope you're all right. It is flu season. Oh, he's heating the flu. Oh, that's right. Matt Gillespie reminds all of us, including myself, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel here. New things coming out in 2026, including membership, where you'll get some behind the scenes of those new things that are coming out. There's also some archived drives where I might have been a little too loose with my tongue, and I decided, it's probably smarter to make people pay for this. And God knows, for years I've been collecting them. So there's a lot of members only videos there. Let's see. Sickles fried chicken legs. Or you could do like Sickles fried steak. Not really, because that's not as good. I was just thinking chicken fried steak. All right, never mind. Forget that. Swollen sore thumb. Bug bite, maybe? I'm loving, by the way, these gas prices. I got gas for $2.22 the other day. It was $2.72, but I had it was at Sheetz, and I had like an option of 50 cents off, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I want to go back in time. And so I did, and it cost me like $38 to fill the tank. It hasn't been $38 to fill the tank in I don't even know how many years. Since it was around $2.22. George Sears green eggs and ham. Oh God, these are actually pretty good names. I'm just gonna rob a bank. I think I have to. I'm waiting to win the lottery or get someone to believe in me with a huge checkbook. But I think the only way to do it is to just grab life by the horns, get a ski mask, and carve a gun out of a bar of soap, and then color it in with shoe polish. And rob a bank the good old-fashioned way, right? Get a road stake. No, that's not good. I don't think I'd last very long. I mean, what if it's raining when I go out with my soap gun, and next thing I know, I just have a handful of suds? Right? Didn't think that one through. Well, I did. Right now. All barks tell no bite. That's good. I filled up for $197 yesterday. Absurdly awesome. I don't know how that's happening, but gee, I love it. I love it. There is no time. I like that. AG branded seasonings. That's a good one. Pepper's Charge. I can't think of any other spices. Ty says, Matt's going out like Dog Day Afternoon without the transvestite side piece. So you think? What do you think Wonder Monk's going to be doing that day? Ghost of Sickle's Leg says, sorry, but been busier than a one-legged man at an ass-kicking contest. New lead electrician at Little Cases Arena. Very good. Congratulations. Oh, wait, are you the new? Or did you get a new that you're training or something? Either way, it's good to be busy. It's good to be busy. And it's good to be the king. Little Caesars Arena. Oh, gotcha. Yes. Little Cases Arena made no sense to me, but then again, I'm not from where you are, so how would I know? How would I know? How would I know? Oh, does anyone have a connection to a good, and I mean a solid, fife and drum unit? I know I've asked this before, but does anybody have that? And if so, can you put me in touch? Also, I'm getting the information. So I'm waiting to hear back. I'm going to follow up now that the holidays are over and people can't use that as an excuse. Now the excuse will be, well, we're just catching up, having come back from the holiday. So, but still, I'm going to follow up about our show in April. I'm working on that this week. I'm going to follow up with the totem pole and find out if if patrons can get early access to the ticket sales, because their members also get that. And then so what happens is, like, beginning of the year, they announce their schedule and members get access to all tickets for the whole year right away. And then each show, the sales are open to the public a month out. And I was like, well, I have, members too that I got to take care of. And so it's like, could we get them at least to have the same perks as your members? Because I don't think a month is enough time for me to get the word out, because you got to start talking about things months in advance of the event, usually, to get people to notice it, because not everybody listens at the same time. It's not like radio, so or television, I guess, for that matter. So so I'm gonna find out patrons. I'll let you know, and I'm sure they'll let us do it, but I can't see why they wouldn't. And then so then you can get tickets for that. It's April 12th. This is going to be a big deal, and it's a I don't know what you would call it. It's a perhaps a summit, a beer summit without the beer, unfortunately, but a summit between theater people and history nerds. Will there be a big brawl in the audience? Who knows? Might have to go and find out. I don't think so. Maybe a slap fighting brawl, perhaps. But the point is, the totem pole wants to expose you guys to their facilities and what they offer out there. And they want to expose their people, their members, theater people, to the history stuff. So this is a great opportunity for we, the Addressing Gettysburg community, to be those ambassadors to the normies and let them see that it is fun to learn about history, that the history is interesting, and we don't do it the same old-fashioned way. And that this is our moment to shine, ladies and gentlemen, with some normies. So we want you there as many of you as possible, and that's why I'm trying to get the ticket sales to be available ASAP instead of March. So we'll keep you updated on that. UNC, no, that's a good point. Not calling the theater kids normies, I just call anybody that's not a history nerd a normie, because but you're right, theater kids are basically history nerds, but over theater. Good catch. So do you have a new boss? Okay, they're talking to ghosts. Nope, I'm the boss. Okay, great. All right, great. So it's honestly a good intersection. I think so too, and that's why I want fife and drum unit there, because I want to, they're theater people, so I want a little bit of showmanship, as much as I can get. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. All right. Well, it looks like we're done there with our conversation. We're getting into back and forth between you guys, and I'm not going to sit around for that. That's crazy. No pulp culp orange juice. That's good. I like that. All right, guys. Got to get going. You have a great day. Talk to you later.